Okay, so
I think it works perfect.
Now we're hot. So now we can drop those little nuggets, but there's no need to rewind.
That was good. I like it.
Besides, we didn't want his voice that early in the process because it's going to take a proper introduction.
Play the music. Cue some music.
Hello, everyone. It is a beautiful day.
Gorgeous.
At Casa Verde.
And it's only prettier because of our special guest.
We've got a very, very special, one-of-a-kind guest. We've been trying literally for weeks. Is it months now?
I had given up.
I know.
I had all but lost hope.
It's so tough. It's so tough. But Brad, who is joining us today?
It's the one, the only DJ Khaled.
Man, oh man.
My heart is full.
Is my mic on? I don't even know if I'm on.
Yes, it is.
I don't hear myself.
You don't hear yourself?
I need to hear me. More me, less you. More me. There he is.
There we go.
Man, I am so...
Did you have to quit your job to be with us today?
Yes, I literally turned in my notice and I said, I'm out, guys. I have missed y'all.
Man, the feeling is more than mutual. I don't know what that means.
And more than mutual?
Yeah, it's more than mutual.
Man, how does that... Is that irregardless?
I don't know.
Irregardless is in the dictionary now.
Is it really?
Yes.
It's more of an example of how not to, though.
Oh.
I'm not going down that path, but welcome home, Caleb.
Oh man, it feels good to be home.
Speaking of which, it's been so long I can't remember how to open Sandbox anymore.
Doesn't matter, you didn't add anything to it.
No, you're right. I mean, Kevin can't see it, and it's just been him and I.
Oh man,
but we have had some guests.
I know, I saw that. You had some pretty notable chuckleheads.
Yeah, McAfee was here.
Good
Zero
guys.
Corrections.
He didn't correct you guys on anything?
He didn't come with any receipts.
He was being nice because you guys are wrong about everything.
Yeah, that's very likely.
How did he hold back? He's such a man of patience.
He's like, this is a lost cause. There's no point.
I think he was tired.
Yeah. It's like when a 3-year-old says, I'm a ninja, and you pat him on the head and you go, you're the best little ninja. You know?
What's going on in your world? Are you riding your bike at all?
I have, honestly, I don't think I've ridden in probably, it's been over a month.
Oh my God.
But I have been getting into the gym, and I have been going out and running and getting like quick 45 minutes of cardio in. So I feel strong. I feel fine, but we'll see. Tonight we're riding to and we'll talk about this later, but we're riding to the movie premiere tonight, which will be fun. So I've had a couple of opportunities the last day or two to get on my bike, but I thought, you know what, I'm gonna wait and power it out with 4 guys on the way to the theater and see how I do, just to kind of see how idiotic that's going to be.
Dude, we're just gonna. It's gonna.
That's why I said ramble speed when I sent you the route yesterday.
It's gonna be party pace.
Did you get the route?
Oh yeah.
Did you get it on your Garmin?
Dude, I'm gonna tell you.
Here we go.
The 1040S makes it ridiculously easy.
Yeah, there's nothing to do but turn it on.
It's even for a dipshit like me.
God, man.
It's so wild.
Yeah.
I love it so much. I mean, the initial setup was, it was almost at the ceiling of my intellect. But
yeah, because I helped you.
Yeah, but then...
I was there.
But then after I single-handedly got it set up...
I have receipts.
Everything else has been just straight seamless. It's so awesome.
So how long is the ride there tonight?
It is 9.5 miles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to roll. Basically, it's the Tuesday night roll and keep going. Instead of going east to the school, we'll go north right up by the Denton High and cross 380. We got to be careful going home. Let's be very safe crossing 380.
Yeah.
It's not the best place, but once we get past that, we're money.
Obviously.
I bet there's a light crossing somewhere.
There is, right there at the corner there.
Can we just get right into bike talk?
We really should.
I'm definitely going to be riding y'all's coattails on this and just probably inserting incorrect information because I'm a little out of the loop.
I'm kind of the same. I was counting on you guys to steer the ship today.
I had the pleasure of touching the Schwalbe Albert tires, the ones that we were talking about, the Radials.
Those Radials. Okay, and where was this?
They were at the bike shop. They were on a bike. I was talking to a guy, very nice build bike, and he had just installed them. I think he'd only had like 40 miles on them. But I was touching them before I realized what they were, and I was like, wow, they almost felt like they were foam. Like the suppleness of them.
Super supple. Yes. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
But doesn't that reduce long-term durability? Aren't the knobbies going to run down? I'm noticing that, by the way, but not to interject and insert myself.
Yeah.
I'm noticing those Race Kings that I have.
Paula is out of town, so you can insert yourself as much as you want to.
Yeah, that's right. Those Race Kings are kind of wearing down a little quicker than expected, I think. But maybe that's because they're a little more supple. But I've noticed the back is significantly lower than the...
And you're riding on the road primarily.
I mean, is road worse than chunky gravel? I don't know that it wears it off anymore.
Yeah, because it's constant contact on all the knobbies, whereas...
Constant sandpaper, basically.
Yeah, that's true.
But these tires, I started touching them, and I don't know, I'm always grabbing people's tires and seeing what the pressure feels like, and I grabbed it, and I was like, whoa. It just felt different than any tire. And so I started talking to the guy, like, what do you think about these tires? How'd you end up with these tires? Did you order these on purpose? And he said he's had like 3 rides on them, and he goes, you definitely notice a difference. He said you can run a higher pressure and you feel like you're way more connected. He goes, there was plenty of corners where I felt like I should be like giving up traction or close to the edge of traction. He goes, and I was just leaning into it.
What kind of bike was this on?
It was a Santa Cruz something. It was an e-bike.
It was an e-bike.
Yeah.
Okay.
With the it was an SL, whatever. I don't know. Heckler SL? I don't know. I'm not sure.
But I wasn't asking the specific model. It was like what type of bike, generally speaking.
Yeah, I think all of those tires at the moment are all gravity e-bike oriented. Yeah, I don't think they have a cross country because there is. I'm guessing there's a weight penalty.
Well, I'm sure, but it doesn't mean that somebody on a cross country bike wouldn't go, let me try these new tires.
Yeah,
I would actually kind of be interested in it if they were to happen to fall in my lap, Schwalbe.
Yeah.
Episode 80 brought to you by Schwalbe.
I ran is it Terravale? Is the company.
Yeah.
I ran their Cumberlands for...
Don't they have like 80 different...
Yeah.
I can't keep track of all the Terravales.
But their Cumberlands, I think they were 2.8s, and they were like 1,145 grams a tire. And I ran them for the winter a couple of winters ago.
Is that heavy?
Yeah, way heavy.
Okay.
And
it's like 2 tires of heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But I ran them on intentionally so I would get to the point where it was like, oh my gosh. But I ran them, and then they finally disappeared. And I mean, meaning I wasn't like feeling like I was starting up a tractor every time I started turning them.
Okay.
And then I went back.
A good training tire, is that what you're saying?
Yeah. And then I went back to Mezcals, and I was like, I felt like I was cheating. That was pretty awesome.
Imagine if you'd put the skin walls on there even lighter.
Caleb's back.
Hey.
You can't be fast standing on the side of the trail repairing your tire, though.
Look, let's be honest. Who's had more punctures on rides than me?
I mean, just want to know
between you and I.
I just want to know, is your insert still at LBJ Grasslands? Leave no trace, buddy.
There is no trace. It's buried.
That's right. We're going to go get it this spring when we go back and insert it on the trail and then ride it home.
Hey, I'm just looking at Schwalbe's tires, and they have an eddy current front, and they have an eddy current rear.
What does that mean?
I don't know what he means.
That's the name of the tire. It's
Eddie,
called-
like Eddie is in the name, the human person name, or Eddie is in like
Eddie is in
isn't
like
it like-
Eddie Merckx.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I see. That was a stretch, but okay,
Yeah,
I see where
okay.
it's going.
Okay. So it's prickly and arrogant.
No, it's a 27. Oh, this one's a 29. That's funny. Their front tire is a 20 by 2.4, and the rear tire is a 27.5 by 2.8. Why would you have a front tire and a rear tire that aren't compatible and have the same name? That doesn't make much sense. I'm probably way wrong. I'm probably reading it way wrong.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
I'm
probably.
not going down that rabbit hole.
Well, one of them says version super. I'm sure you click on the tire itself and it gives you all kinds of options. Either way.
All right. So,
So,
what positive impressions of the tire, or just that's different.
100%. I was very, very impressed with it.
Do we know what those go for?
I'm looking right now. This says $104 retail.
That's actually not bad.
Yep, this is a. Let me see if I change.
Don't get me wrong. I don't want to spend $100 a tire,
Nor do I.
but I wouldn't have been surprised if that was a $200 tire. Quite
You're
frankly.
about to.
What?
I mean, with the ports being on.
Oh, McAfee shot that down. He said
He
that's
did
not going to
not.
happen.
He did not shoot it down.
He said, don't worry
said
about
that,
it.
He said that the strike's not going to happen, or the price increase of things.
No, I don't know.
the dispute that was potentially leading to a shutdown. Those discussions happen all the time. Whether or not
That was his claim. Yeah, you're right.
whether or not it was going to happen this time
Well,
It
when
wasn't
did
a-
y'all talk to him?
a week ago.
Well, the strike has happened. They are on strike now.
They
I
are
mean,
on
Oh, are
strike.
they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't watch
yeah,
the
from,
news.
from Houston all the way up to New York, the whole East Coast and the
Under-
Gulf.
Oh, wow.
Understood. And it, yeah.
I mean, I'm not panicked over it, but like, yeah, there are obviously going to be some things that,
Maybe.
you know,
Does that mean I'm going to have.
Christmas is going to be a little tight this year.
Yeah.
If they stay on strike.
Yeah.
They,
But,
may,
hey,
they may come to an agreement over cocktails tonight.
The one argument I don't think they're going to win is the automation and the AI. That's just probably not.
I
They're,
mean,
they're going to get paid more, but I don't know if they're going to reverse that.
Yeah, I haven't even looked at the details of it because it's all outside of my control. So
Yeah.
nothing
AI's
I can do about it.
AI is going to take over everything, right?
It already has. We just don't know.
I use it every day,
We're living it-
multiple times a day for different types of things. I use
For
it all the
Jesus,
time.
Jesus photos?
You don't know. You don't know everything that I do. Don't try to pretend. Don't
Well,
be in my world.
I'm going to have to use AI for my tentacle porn now that it's not going to get imported anymore through the ports, huh?
Tentacle porn.
I'm kidding. It was a stupid joke.
Isn't it? Did you see? I sent him a thing the other day. So as just to experiment, I this totally has to do with bikes, by the way.
Cool.
Sounds like it.
I subscribe to Chat GPT Plus just to kind of play around and see what all kinds of models they have and stuff. And that chef thing is incredible. You can take a photo of your refrigerator or take photo of the items that you have and upload it, and it will spit out 5 or 6 recipes to build, and it does it. You know, there's websites that will do that, but you have to find the right results because sometimes it will feed you sponsored results that aren't necessarily accurate.
Really?
Right?
So I just kind of briefly looked at it. I wanted to talk to you about it, but that's freaking. So I had an idea years ago where I was going to do like a subscription service, and you send me the stuff that's in your refrigerator, and I just write you out a recipe and send you back.
Well, you don't need that anymore
I know.
because now I'm
Oh, I
getting
know.
it with ChatGPT.
Or, or now he could really implement it now.
Yeah.
He just doesn't need to tell him that he's
That's
using
true.
ChatGPT.
You can just
Yeah.
subscribe to ChatGPT,
Yeah.
pay $20 a month, but then charge $35 per.
per user.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Well, that's what people are doing. That's how you monetize
That's exactly how you
ChatGPT
monetize
or any of the
AI.
AIs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. The world is going to change. Or according to Kevin, it already has. We just don't realize it.
I'm convinced.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We
We're,
live-
we're living in the spirit world, guys.
Man.
Well, I mean, they've always said whatever our current technology is that we have available to us,
Let's clarify real quick. Who's they?
the ethereal they,
Okay. They say whatever current technology we have.
the government, the military, the NSA is 20 years in advance of that.
Oh yeah, I don't doubt that at all.
And that's my point. So,
And we only know about what they want us to know about.
oh God, yes, that's all. Yeah. So if we're here with this AI now in just the past 3-4 years, the real shift in AI, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How far ahead do you think the NSA, the CIA, and everyone like that is with it? And not just the United States government, China, Russia, Korea, probably Iran and Israel as well. So
I just want to know when AI is going to make me faster on my bike.
well, it already does.
How?
You just
Well,
you fib to Zwift on your weight, or you hop on an e-bike on Strava and you're faster.
Did you guys not see? I think I can. Well, let's put some padding in between what I'm about to say in case you have to cut it out. There was a rumor floating around, and I read this on Bike Rumor. I think I was not told this in a meeting, but Shimano's already fucking with AI for gear shifting.
Oh, I'm sure.
They're already adding it into and looking into hard. Again, none of my colleagues have mentioned anything of that to me, so I think I'm okay to say that it's open knowledge.
I've heard yes, the electronic shifting.
So you are going to get faster on your bike because AI is going to help design stronger, lighter frames, and it's going to design faster tread patterns and compounds and all that stuff. I mean,
and you just can take a picture of what's in the convenience store, and it'll tell you what to get so that you don't bonk.
Oh man, I could have used that, couldn't I?
Yeah.
Jeez, I still dream about that, you guys. I still have dreams about it.
It's okay. There's always next year.
I'm getting mine.
So what's it take to get you back on the bike?
Oh, I'm getting back on tonight.
Okay, but I mean,
I wanted my first ride back. Sentimentally, I wanted it to be with my friends, going to somewhere instead of me going out and getting on my own.
Are you in a position that you're back on the bike regularly now, or is that?
Yeah, I think I'm going to be able to be riding a little more now.
Good.
I've gotten some better support at my job to where I'm not having to literally do everything.
That's good.
On the certain things. We had a massive amount of growth unexpectedly, and I got put on some stuff unexpectedly. But I'm on some pretty cool projects that I'm excited about. So it's just been, and I have done a lot of traveling, right? I mean,
yeah,
have you?
Yeah,
I haven't heard about it.
Well, we went to for my birthday.
My birthday.
I do have a funny story for you.
Please do.
100% about bikes. So in July for Kay's birthday, we had rented a cabin down on the Llano River in Mason, Texas, to spend her birthday weekend there. We both got sick that weekend, so we had to push it off. So we pushed it to my birthday weekend. So we went down there, and this was our first real, I wouldn't want to say Airbnb nightmare, but it was kind of, some people would consider it a nightmare. Kay considered it a nightmare. To me, it was rough, but it wasn't a nightmare.
If Kay considers it a nightmare, it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
So we get there, and the first thing is that and I should have known better, but the photos from the Airbnb listing on the website made it look like the cabin was 30 feet from the water on the gravel bed.
Yeah.
And it was more like 0.3 of a mile. Yeah. Like it was and way uphill. So we were like, okay, well, that's unfortunate. They had gotten like 3 inches of rain 2 nights before. So the river was flowing way too fast to get in the kayaks and the canoe, kayak and the paddleboard to go down and come, like paddling back up. It was not going to happen.
Yeah.
So there was that. Well, so the first night we drop all our stuff off, immediately go down to the bank. Kay's reading, I'm fishing, and we're just hanging out. We go back. I light the grill at dark.
Wait, hold up. You catch any fish?
No, water was moving too fast.
Okay.
Yeah, it was way too fast. I couldn't find any slower water to get into, but it was fun.
Yeah.
I got to play around. So I start cooking, and you're out in the wilderness. We're used to bugs. Bugs start coming around. So we finally get in and it's a small cabin. It's like a 15 by 30, something like that. It's got a bedroom, a little sitting area, and a small kitchen and bathroom. And we're sitting in, and there's more bugs coming into this place than I would expect I'm expecting something, right?
Yeah.
But there were things I've never seen before. There were they look like small praying mantis. What's mantis plural? Manti?
Sure.
Okay.
Let's go with it.
Can we go with that?
Yeah.
Somebody correct me. But they were these.
Sean will.
They walked like zombies. They were walked really, really slow, and they were huge. They were this long. Like,
I'm holding mantises.
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 They were almost the length of a crayon.
Yeah.
Big fat gray things, and they moved really slow. And it wasn't like one came from one area and then you killed it and then 10 minutes. They were coming from all air. Like it was almost like Night of the Living Dead.
They were ambushing you.
So I'm killing them, throwing them outside. And I'm like, what the fuck? This is not like we can't. I don't know if I can. Like even Biscuit, our dog's wondering what's going on. So Kay said, well, I'm going to go check the back bedroom and see if they're there. And she goes back there and she goes, oh shit, you got to come see this. And I walk in there and I have pictures of it. There is almost as if it was a display. There was a live scorpion caught in the light fixture above the bed. And I said, and this is 10:30 at night. And I said, pack your shit, we're leaving. Jeez. I don't know where the fuck we're going because you can't sleep with that above your head. Like that's not going to happen.
Right.
So we pivoted. Ended up. I didn't know this. Airbnb has late check-in accommodations.
There's
certain places that allow late check-ins. We found a badass little cottage right outside of Fredericksburg at 11:30 at night. She booked it on the drive-in. We ended up having a fantastic weekend. We went to Enchanted Rock, which was cool as shit. What is that?
When Garrett was here, that's a walking stick.
Look at that shit.
Yeah,
we found
crazy.
on the wall right there.
It's crazy.
I don't see those very often.
I'm telling you, it was every bit of.
That's a walking branch. That's not a stick.
6 or 7 inches long.
Ooh.
It was
and real inches, not Brad inches.
Oh,
yeah.
Man.
Like verifiable inches.
Ended up on Enchanted Rock, which was cool as shit.
I've not been there, I don't think.
We went to Pedernales State Park, which is small but gorgeous. Those falls were amazing. And then they would have
been flowing that weekend.
Yeah. It wasn't too bad. A little bit. The majority of it had made it like the.
Gotcha.
But we ended up down in the river, and we sat in the river for 2 hours, Kay and I and the dog, and drank beer and just.
That's awesome.
It was awesome. And then the next weekend, she went to Baton Rouge, and then the weekend after that, I went to did my Colorado trip, which was fantastic. Fished, hiked, that went swimmingly. So I have been outside of work. Traveling has kept me from.
The hell was that?
Riding. It was me burping. Sorry.
Anyway, but yeah, I think I'm going to be
back at it.
It wasn't like I've been stagnant though. I mean, I've been very active.
Oh, I know. We just been missing you.
Just not active with us.
I know. I know.
Very selfishly, I've been missing you.
Well, that's good to know.
Oh, that's good to be missed, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What else is going on? I'm cycling. I'm excited to ride tonight, chill, and see the movie. How long's the movie again?
About 40 minutes.
About 40 minutes.
And let's talk about it.
Mm-hmm. What are you talking about?
The movie. What is it, Kevin? Do we want to talk about it now or after we see it and we come back and give our reactions?
I mean,
because I saw the rough cut, and just the rough cut was gorgeous.
Yeah.
Cinematically, it's shot really, really well.
My understanding is that's as far as the edit goes, that's pretty close to the final edit.
Yeah.
It's mostly just like a little bit working on the colors and the audio and stuff like that. Mostly was what was not the rough cut. So I think what you guys saw was essentially the final product. I'm sure there's a little shift here and there, but no major changes from my understanding. But we'll see tonight. Yeah. We'll see tonight. I thought it was a really good flick, to be honest with you.
Have y'all talked about it on the podcast yet? What we're talking about? So what we're talking about is a couple guys came last year and traveled along with the group on the Rat, the race across Texas, sponsored by Spinistry, or produced or put on, or what do you call that? Is that
hosted
by the Rat is, but not the documentary.
Right.
Documentary.
They did on their own. Yeah.
These guys were on their own. We didn't have anything to do with it outside of them asking if we were okay if they did it. It's like, knock yourself out.
It is I mean, I watch a lot of the videos that people put together on the Tour Divide are different, and you can tell it. Typically, it's rider shot, and after about 10 or 15 minutes, you're like, yeah, this is just the same one. That's not the case. This documentary is like, it's legit. It's really, really, really good.
This is a slick production, and I mean, it's one of those that I can see people go, oh, why would you go to only a 40-minute movie? And I get that. Would I love to see a 90-minute or 2-hour version?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably, but probably the majority of people wouldn't. The majority of people are used to watching 5 or 10-minute YouTube videos now.
Yeah.
So I think 40 minutes is actually a really good time. I think once it is available on streaming somewhere or another, I think it'll get a pretty good audience because it's a good time format for something like that.
Yeah, I think most cycling documentaries, unless they're multi-part, tend to be in that 40 to 60-minute range.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
So.
Now, actually, that brings up a point. The latest Unbound for the Rad, their documentary for this past weekend was up. Have you all seen that one yet?
I've not seen it yet.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't want to say the production value is going down.
It was just a different course. And it was they focused more on the tactics and stuff. But yeah,
I didn't see any focus on. Man, I don't know. It's hard to. It seemed there was much less effort put into that than the previous ones. But I've been seeing that for each one, but I get it. It's a lot of work, particularly if you're committed to the 48-hour turnaround or whatever it is.
Seemed like it was on par with like Sea Otter to me.
Okay.
Except for, they still had the interviews that were cut in and the commentary, with kind of the top 5 people in the male and female category.
And maybe that was it. Maybe it.
Kevin just had on his critical hat.
No, I mean I wasn't trying to be, but it wasn't intriguing me as much as the others had. But maybe in a way it's just more of the same. So maybe the others were unique and different, and maybe this is just a little bit more of the same.
Yeah.
So it's not registering.
Do you think this far into the season, after this many races, the impact of releasing it so fast has been worth it? I don't hear a lot of people talking about them, but when the last 2 years when they released the season, right, all the episodes at once, that seems like all people were talking about for quite a while. And I went through and watched every one of them. I binged like that day or day and a half and watched pretty much all of them. And this one I tend to forget. Like I've only watched maybe 3. I need to go. Like I'm way behind. Like you guys reminded me. I've forgotten since they're releasing it.
It's kind of interesting. I think a lot of streaming platforms are toying with the same thought process. Like me being in an older category. I have a little bit of nostalgia for the slow trickle like that.
Episodic.
Yeah, like there's a show that I've been watching that I really enjoy. A new episode comes out every Wednesday. And I like that because I'll get a notification, hey, this new episode just dropped, and I'm like, sweet, I know what I'm doing tonight.
I would love to see their engagement numbers with this format based on their previous formats to see which one's working better.
I think it's all experimentation. They don't know what they're.
Oh, sure, no,
they don't know. They don't
I
know
think
what
it's a
they're
great
gonna
idea.
get
I'm glad they did it to try it. I'm not.
I think
criticizing it. I'm just truly interested to know like what's the difference in engagement on it.
And we've touched on it before. I think this is kind of an in between. They're wanting to do the live coverage.
Yeah.
So I think this is kind of we can't pull off live coverage yet, but we're doing what we can to get as close to that as possible.
Yeah.
Whether the live coverage itself will pay off, I don't even know if that's. I like the complete coverage. If they collect all the footage for the entire event, and over the course of time, I can sit down and watch 8 hours of it over time.
Yeah.
I'm really into that. I do like to see that move that was made at mile 25 that plays a factor in mile 98 sort of thing.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I like that they put out a streamlined version. It's typically about 20, 25 minutes, somewhere in that range. But I wish that like maybe the week after they would put out like a unedited version, kind of, like a 2 to 3 hour.
I really enjoy the stories before, after, and during outside of the actual race coverage on those videos.
And that's what I'm saying. All those pieces are good. And I think ultimately, I think that's. again, niche upon niche upon niche. It's so specialized, this market, what we're doing.
You can't say specialized. They're coming after you.
Send me a cease and desist.
Cease and desist.
Send me a.
Can we bleep it out? Seriously, can you bleep that out? That would be fun.
That would be funny.
I randomly came across my. Just yesterday, I came across my
Cease and desist.
my big cease and desist paper. It's like,
From can't do.
I can't say from what.
Yeah.
I can't say from what. But
Can't do that.
I was in the last one of those. I got to ride the last can't do.
But yeah, everybody's trying to figure out how to get the media out that people want, but ultimately, man, I don't know. For what we do, I don't know if there's enough demand to justify it for anybody.
Yeah, and that's the thing is there's so many cyclists that are complacent too when it comes to consumption of cycling-based content that it's like, I mean,
how much of an audience is there for this stuff really?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, even if you take the entire number of what you could call serious cyclists, still your audience for content like that is probably only 20% of that entire number.
Probably.
You know? So, and then if they actually make the time to watch it, you're talking about an even smaller number, you know, and then if they're going to like, comment, subscribe, do all the things, you're talking about.
How do you actually make it worth your while to go through that whole rigmarole?
I'm not sure.
Well, I mean, the movie we're going to tonight, Owen's movie, it's a passion project.
Sure.
It's like there's no way that he's going to, you know, he's using that as a stepping stone. This is his first production.
Yeah.
He's learning how to do things. So he's using it from that perspective. I'm sure
it's probably all AI. Anyways,
I'm sure probably in the process he's like, well, it'd be nice if I could figure out a way to make money on it. But I think at some point he figured out this is a bunch of dipshit cyclists that nobody else is going to be interested in this.
And it's
content.
even more niche-y.
And it gets niche-y beyond that.
But the thing is, that's not sponsorship driven like Lifetime Grand Prix dropping their videos. I mean, that's, you know, they've got all kinds of big names and everything else tied up in that.
Not really.
No?
Have you ever really looked at their sponsor list?
Well,
I mean Lifetime's the sponsors.
Sure.
It's ultimately it's all to Lifetime's.
Well, I mean, somebody's funding the cameras, the vehicles, interview. Yeah, I know, but they have a vested interest in that video coming out. Whereas this video, the movie that we're going to watch tonight, is self-funded, and you know, it's
there's no shoe brand or bike brand logo in the credits.
But that's what I've been talking about from the whole Lifetime Grand Prix effort. And again, I'm not knocking Lifetime for this, and I'm not saying that they're not. They're probably break even at best. And I'm talking about that even from the promotion standpoint. I don't see where they're getting, let's say they're spending $5 million a year on all this.
Yeah.
They're not getting $5 million of lifetime memberships out of this.
But maybe they were writing it off as a loss. Maybe they need to show a loss. Maybe they're using it. I understand. Maybe it's a stepping stone.
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe it's just an experiment. Who knows?
We don't know. But, well, along those lines. So, you know, we're talking about the video for the Rad and I think that was one of the episodes you were here, Caleb, that we were talking about the attendance for the Rad. Maybe it was Justin we were talking to about it. That we were doing a quick off the napkin. How many registrations do they need for the Rad to be worth their while, and how many registrations did they have last year? And I think we roughed out that they really were shooting to be 1,200 to 1,500 attendees, but they really needed to be over 1,000. And figured out last year I think they were 700, 750, and it looked like they were at 950 this year. So. I'm not saying they're struggling. It's not automatic for Lifetime to fill up these events either.
Yeah,
you know, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of effort, and I mean, I know some of the math on putting on shows like that, and at the levels that they're doing it, even with the higher prices that Lifetime charges than a regional grassroots event. The only way they can be doing this is for promotional benefit for Lifetime itself. They're not making money on the events, I guess is the short story on it. And I say that in a way to kind of support Lifetime for going to those efforts, because so many people look at, they're charging me $150 to show up for this. What do I get for my $150? Mm-hmm. Well, it is a fair question, but they are putting on a pretty broad-based show with a lot more expense than something like a Spinistry.
They are a publicly traded company, so
yes, they are.
It would be possible to find.
Yeah, well, and that was
their earnings on it. I don't know how they hide events.
No, they have the numbers for the events, and but it doesn't break. It's all Lifetime events as a segment, and the revenue for all of the events, I want to say, was maybe $30 million for all of the events, and that includes their marathons and stuff like that, which are actually going to be higher revenue bases than something like a niche gravel event or Leadville or
whatever. Did they put on the Leadville 100 foot race as well?
Yes.
Lifetime?
Yes.
Okay.
So, and that's what I was getting at from a shareholder value aspect of things. There's no way that the Lifetime Grand Prix is the investment they're putting in it. The resources are, if you look at it from a shareholder value point of view, shareholders are going to go, it's just a drop in the bucket. That doesn't do anything for us. That they're not going to care about it at the shareholder level. Whether they care about it at the C-level executive level and want to, and if it does make sense from a marketing perspective, that's way outside of my pay grade for me to make that call. But the numbers, for anyone that thinks Lifetime's getting rich putting on Unbound gravel, probably Unbound's covering the cost for everything else they do in the Grand Prix.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I mean, well, look, let's be fair. Nobody's getting rich putting on bike races.
No, yeah.
Unless there's other stuff going on.
It's a great money laundering scheme if you think about it.
Definitely.
No, I'm serious. Like, why didn't Walter White do that when he was trying to funnel all that stacks of cash in Breaking Bad there?
Because it's even more niche than car washes are.
Yeah.
And
you made $14 million on a mountain bike race?
It's very lucrative business. Yeah, but we started with $28 million.
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly how it works.
Oh, shit. What?
Who is that?
It ain't me.
It ain't me.
It ain't me.
It's me, sorry.
That's all right. It's all good.
Stupid spam calls. Spam calls are getting crazy.
I guess my spam detection.
Oh, I got one the other day. So I was driving and I sniffed it out pretty quick. And I called his bluff and I won. Guy calls me and says, Mr. Wills, this is Sergeant, I don't know, so-and-so for the Denton County Sheriff's Department. And we just wanted to let you know that there's a warrant for your arrest for failure to appear as an expert witness in a federal case. I went, oh, okay. What was the case? Yeah. Well, I don't have it in front of me. Oh, okay. Well, what exactly am I an expert witness in?
Yeah.
Right. And he goes, I don't have that information. That's not given to me. I just know that, we need to take care of this. I went, okay, where are you calling from? And he goes, I'm calling from the Sheriff's Department. And I said, okay, what's the address? Crazy thing, he spouted it off immediately. He listed the address of the Denton County Jail.
Yeah.
And I went, okay, cool. I was literally on the loop. Mm-hmm. I was 2 miles from the Sheriff's Department. Yeah. I said, cool, I'm on my way. I'll meet you out front. Yeah. And we can talk about this because I think you're full of shit. I did. Yeah. And I walked in and I told the very sweet lady at the entrance of the jail. She goes, you're the 7th person in the last 3 hours that has made that claim. We had National Night Out, which is it's like a national emergency service meet and greet that neighborhoods do, and we had the Denton Fire and Police out at our neighborhood park, and I went down there and I was chatting with one of the police officers that I'd met before, and I told him what was going on, and he said that this guy I talked to, his actual function in the police department is investigating crimes against people, so violent crimes or financial crimes or whatever. Yeah. He's telling me that people are giving money away to that or falling for it. He worked a case where a guy went and took out $80,000 cash to go to a Bitcoin bank to put 80 grand in the Bitcoin machine. He was trying to explain it to me, and it was a little over my head. But people are falling for it because these guys are saying, you got to do it. And I'm thinking, how do you think it's official that someone says you can't pay a check or a credit card, that you have to pay me Bitcoin?
I'm sorry, just
borderline Darwinian.
Walk me through what the actual scam.
The scam is in order to pay off the warrant for missing the federal court summons, you need to pay us X amount of money.
The sheriff's department. But in order to do it, we're only taking either gift cards or and I'm thinking, how do people fall for this shit? It's one thing for them to say, you missed a court, you need to come and do whatever. But Bitcoin, come on, man. Well, I mean, ultimately.
You should have flipped a script on him and just told him, hey, it's a federal offense for you to impersonate an officer.
They know that.
Listen to this shit. So I called him right back.
Yeah.
Once I got to the sheriff's department and talked to that lady, I called. I'm like, look, I'm here, dude. But, of course, the number was immediately shut down.
Yeah.
An hour and a half later, Kay calls me and she goes, I just got the weirdest voicemail. Sergeant so-and-so over the Denton County Police Department is looking for you, saying it was the same guy that called me.
Are y'all's numbers close together?
No. They're not even. 940 is the only numbers we share.
Yeah. I've been getting this one.
But the guy called Kay asking for me, the same guy that I had spoken to a couple hours earlier.
So I intentionally saved these because I was going to talk to whoever wanted to listen about them. But I've got a phone call from Los Angeles, from San Marcos, California, from Yuma, Arizona, and from Bayport, New York. And I've let them go to voicemail, and they've all left the exact same 4-second message that makes no sense. It just says, mission is still accurate for business owners. Thank you for your response. That's the entirety of the message. And it like I said, every one of those, and there was others that I deleted, but every one of them has the exact same voicemail. It's just,
there's another thing going on that Kay and I have had, which is I still don't know what the hook is. She got a message the other night from a random number that said, looking forward to going out on the boat tomorrow.
Yeah, I get those random texts.
Yeah, and the difference is that if she probably doesn't have your number saved, Kevin. So if you were to accidentally text, like if it's a real number, it just shows the text. But this text said report as junk under like the little Apple has a little indication. So it's sniffing out that it's phishing. But what are they trying to do? Are they trying to establish?
They want you to call them back.
Oh, is that what it is?
Or text them back.
And they trying to get and then they hook you somehow with something like I need gas money to get to the boat or something, or
probably a link like, hey, meet me here or
but
whatever.
It's stuff like that. It's like more personal engagement that has nothing to do with business or legalities.
The other one I've been getting is people calling me from numbers I don't know, and I answer it because it may be a business lead, and they don't say anything. They're waiting for you to talk, and the way I understand it, bringing this back to AI, is they're trying to capture as much of your voice as they can, and then they can utilize your voice to call
Paula.
Yeah,
that's 100% accurate. Yeah.
So I'll answer the phone, and if they don't say anything in 8 seconds, I just hang up. Because if you can't ride the bull in 8 seconds, you gone.
I just let it go to voicemail.
Yeah,
that's it.
But I mean, ultimately, all these are kind of the same. They're funneling down. They know they're gonna send that text, call you. And maybe they call 5,000 people, and only 100 of them reply to the text, or tell me more. How do I take care of this warrant or whatever? And they're quite frankly, they're trying to find the elderly people.
Yes, that's what they.
That don't understand technology or might have dementia issues or whatever else, and just fully taking advantage of the most vulnerable people in our society. How can people even get to that level of
taking advantage of somebody?
I don't know, but it's always one of these conversations I've had so many times that it's one of those things like people that rob banks have a justification in their mind. They can justify it.
Everybody that does anything justifies.
Watch How to Rob a Bank on Netflix. For that there's a documentary called How to Rob a Bank. It's pretty interesting on the motives.
Yeah, but it's always weird to me. Like, I've tried to understand and I guess empathize, but I can't put myself in that frame of thought, so I don't understand it. It's like people that cheat on their wives, they justify it. People that beat on their wives, they justify it. People that rob banks, people that murder people that, whatever the crime is, there's always a person that goes, well, the bank's insured, so, I'm really not hurting anybody or whatever, And I've never understood. And then you talk about scams and stuff. It's like, these people are the lowest of the low, and they're preying on the weak.
Right.
And they're doing it with, if they would put all that effort into something positive, they could actually fucking do something.
They could make a positive change.
They're obviously smart.
Yeah, I mean, or they're just playing numbers.
The other thing that the police officer told me is the other scam du jour is calling people and telling them, we have your data from some porn site and we're going to release it, and they'll have your family members' phone. They'll have legitimate phone numbers. They can connect the dots for family members, and they'll say, we're going to release video and all this stuff, and people are freaking out over it and paying up money for that.
I just say go for it.
I'm not falling in for any of it. No. I mean, I'm not giving you money if you call me, because I think it's just your AI voice.
Yeah.
I mean, the ultimate rationalization that I've experienced, and if it comes to it, I'll tell you all a relevant story off air, is that a lot of these people that think this way think they're normal.
Right.
They think everybody thinks this way. I'm just one of the smart ones or brave ones that actually acts on it, sort of thing. Everybody else, this is what they really want to do anyway, but I'm the only one that's brave enough to actually do it. So it gets weird once you start going down that rabbit hole. But hey, who am I?
Back to bikes.
Let's talk
talk
bikes.
about bikes. So you leave for Texarkana tomorrow?
I leave for Texarkana tomorrow. Yes, sir.
Oh, that starts Saturday.
And you're taking your Brompton and getting on the train, or what? How are you getting to Texarkana?
I wish I had a Brompton. Episode 80 brought to you by Brompton G-Line. I am hopping on the train in Fort Worth.
Okay.
My lovely bride's going to drop me off at the train. I considered pedaling down there, but I'm not. I couldn't find a route I was comfortable pedaling to Fort Worth.
So what are you're gonna ride the rat?
I'm going to ride some of it.
Okay.
I'm going to ride some of it. I'm going to go for a bike ride.
You know what you should do, Kevin?
What should I do?
Tell Kevin what he
That you put on a small ride. I think it was Redmond, Waldschmidt, myself, and you. I think that was the only 4 people. And we did a tailwind ride. And we rode from here to Gainesville and took the train from Gainesville down to Fort Worth.
Right.
You should have done something like that without the return trip from Gainesville to my house to make it a smooth 100.
I'm sorry. So what should I be doing?
Riding to Gainesville and taking the train down to Fort Worth and then getting on the train at Fort Worth to Texarkana.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. The timing wouldn't work on that.
Yeah,
but,
that's why I said it's maybe a little late in the game.
Well, I mean, the timing for trains meeting up and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So,
well, I haven't studied the train schedule, obviously.
Understood.
rookie.
Such a rookie. But speaking of the rat,
Yeah.
I want to hear your plan. Like, what are you going to ride the entirety?
No.
Okay.
God, no.
So, what is your ambition then? What's your ultimate goal? If you've already
Ride my bike,
just ride until you don't want to ride anymore?
pretty much, or
So-
not able to ride anymore.
So what I want to do, kind of as a precursor to rat, is I've been hankering to bike pack, but I told Paula the other day, I said, I want you to take me and drop me off, like, I don't know, Esteline or somewhere like 300, 400, 500 miles from here, and just ride back. Mm-hmm. And she's like, by yourself?
I have a good idea for you.
Okay.
I saw when I drive to and from Colorado, I always see that. I don't know if it's the northern entrance of the Caprock Trailway that's right there off the interstate, or not off the interstate, off 287.
Yeah.
What area?
That's Esteline.
Okay, that would be a good place to drop off at the entry to that, and then ride that back.
Yeah.
Into connecting into the canyon road that we ride, and ride that back. Because
Yeah.
then you get to go Caprock. You get to go. Is Turkey before that or after that?
Turkey. Well, if you go that way and then backwards on the route,
You would hit,
Turkey would be
you'd hit the red roads at Turkey. You'd get to go through Medicine Mound.
Yeah.
Medicine Hat. Medicine Mound, Medicine Hat.
Medicine Mounds.
Yeah.
Plural.
That would be a great place to come back.
That's
That's a
what I
2-day. That's a 2-day ride. Is it? That's a 3-day ride.
Well, if you're following the rat route, it's going to be longer than that.
Yeah.
But
I want to do that. Just
we got you.
Hey,
Yeah.
Lucy.
We got you. We can actually. That's exactly the sort of stuff I want to be doing too.
Yeah.
That's what I'm building. I'm building up to do my own point to points. Is what I want to do.
Well, I was talking to Shannon, having coffee as we do, and I was initially saying I just want to throw all my stuff on my bike and just take off and ride to a certain point and just have Paula come pick me up. And he goes, but and then it evolved to it'd be easier just to have her drop me off.
So that's my stretch goal, quite frankly, for the rat. I have a route from Texarkana to Bonham, which is the regular rat route, and then from Bonham to my house. Mm-hmm. It's 350 miles. I don't know that I can pull that off, but we'll see.
I think you got that easy, buddy.
We'll see. I don't know what my knees will take and what they won't. Is what I'm getting at. Because I've only got 4 days. I have to be home Tuesday morning.
Yeah.
So.
But how did your knees fare after our? Would you end up getting like 75 miles that day?
75 miles that day, and that was on the El Jefe.
Yeah. Which is your rat machine, right? No,
I've changed up. I've gone a different route. I learned from the El Jefe that's too much tire for me to be turning. I needed a little bit less tire.
Oh yeah, well I mean if I was doing rat, I would be turning less tire too. But you can put smaller tires on there.
Understood. I went a touch more nimble.
So what is the rat machine?
It's a steel gravel bike with 50 millimeter tires.
You're not going to tell us the name of this steel gravel bike?
I'm not allowed to. They don't want to be associated with me, so I can't say. I had to peel their stickers off.
So it's not a sponsor. They're not a sponsor of this podcast.
No, but it's a made in the USA steel gravel bicycle that's actually pretty sweet.
Okay, and it starts with a.
I can't say.
Why are you being so elusive?
That's
this
Kevin.
Shit?
Because it's fun for him. Little tease.
No, I can't. They don't want to be associated with me, so I'm not.
They don't want to be associated.
No.
Did you get in a fight?
Did they send you a cease and desist?
It wasn't.
How many cease and desist letters do you own?
It was not a cease and desist. They didn't like my politics. Evidently, I'm too conservative for them.
What? Huh. You're not. Is this for real?
It's for real. That's the funny part about it. They got. I posted.
Do they even know you?
I thought they did, but I posted a picture of Walt up at 4R with when he was making the trails up there. He had a shotgun strapped to his bike because he's got the hog problem up there. So hogs and rattlesnakes, you know. So he doesn't plan to use it, but he has the gun with him when he's out doing trail work and stuff like that.
Not to mention the rattlesnakes and other critters that are trying to kill you out there.
And so I posted that picture on Instagram because I thought it was interesting. And like within a couple hours, it's like, we don't want to be associated with you anymore. Between that and the way you're ignoring COVID. It's like,
will you tell us off air?
Was there a more COVID cognizant event promoter in the country than me?
What a bunch of cucks.
Oh, man.
Wow. Huh. I'm so glad I don't get involved in any of that stuff.
So anyway.
It's a good time to not give a fuck.
But it's a nice bike. I wish I could talk about them. But
well, I'm glad. I'll be happy for you to tell me off air, so I'll make sure to never purchase one.
Yeah, I know. I already got it figured out. I'm on it.
Anyway, let's talk about something else.
Okay.
But so yeah, my stretch goal is a 350-mile ride from Texarkana to the house.
And then grab the vehicle and be at the finish line and tube can carry?
No.
Support along the way? Or
I don't do that.
Oh, there's no reception at the end anymore. There used to be, right?
Not only occasionally if the timings worked out. The first year we did,
Yeah.
After that, it turned out everybody's just so spread out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
You'd have to live there for a week.
Yeah, I mean, I was able to catch Dana
Uh-huh.
at the finish the year he did it, but because I was doing the supported,
Sure.
I was basically one stop away, so I could run out there real quick, meet him, and
Yeah.
then run back to.
You're not doing that anymore, are you? You're not doing the
Can't, I mean,
the wagon, the carry-all thing.
I would like to be able to, but just the.
I don't think that race should. I don't think you should do that.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I understood what you. I understand when you did it with
when I-
Spinistry Palooza, but not for the Rat.
Well, I think it was ideal for the first year of the Rat. First couple years, it made all the sense in the world because it proved to people they could do stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it worked really well at that. But what we learned after the second year is like everybody's got to ride their own ride. Everybody's on their own schedule.
Yeah.
It's not practical for me to say you got to do 125 miles this day, 140 miles that day,
Yeah.
85 miles this day.
Yeah.
Everybody's got to ride their own ride. I
I love that you tried though. And I also think, we always talk about developing people in cycling.
Yes.
And I think, that was, at least in theory, was a great way to edge people into that, like, hey, give it a try, we'll carry your stuff. I mean, whatever you can do to get people to push their boundaries.
Thanks for making me sound like an asshole.
I still like the concept of it, but the reality
You
of
don't
it,
need any help.
I know.
the reality of it is and I don't want it to sound like it's about the money because it's not, but it's got to be worth my while to do it,
Sure.
sort of thing.
Well, it's a business, and I think we know
And
that.
the reality is to do that the proper way, it needs to be something that's $500 to $1,000 a person to do that sort
Yeah.
of thing,
Yeah.
and that doesn't jive with the Rat, quite
No.
frankly.
It goes against the spirit of gravel.
Ooh, the Holy Spirit of gravel.
Shots fired.
It was,
And you're-
it was the lowest hanging fruit.
And you took that out of Spinistry Palooza this year. You're not doing the.
No, we're doing it.
Oh, are you?
We do have the 2-day option.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember the 2-day option.
That's actually all anybody signed up for. Nobody has signed up. Only one person has signed up for the 1-day option.
Then maybe I'm confused. I thought
And Caleb signed up as a volunteer.
I did. I don't know how that. I don't remember doing that. I need to change that.
Are you going?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to get my coworker and my Shimano client to come. We're trying to recruit them to come. So I guess I'm confused, and I guess I misread. I thought the 1-day option is more of the like do it in 1 day. I didn't see in years past you've had a checkbox saying do you want Spinistry to carry a small duffel bag for you. I didn't see that this time around.
I think it's
Or is it assumed?
maybe it's semi-assumed, or let people reach out to me. Hey, can you carry? Yeah, I can carry.
Yeah.
I can carry a small bag for
Yeah.
you, sort of thing. But
Yeah. I think if I'm doing it this year, I'm going to do it like I did the first year. I'm going to try to carry everything.
that's what I encourage everyone. Try to carry everything, and if that's not working,
Wait a minute. Which side of Christmas Mountain are we going? That may determine.
I still haven't decided directions yet.
Man, can you imagine a full
So actually,
load going up that side?
I need
thing?
I need to adjust all my reservations after I get home from this because only one person has signed up for the do it in 1 day, and I have the whole campground at Terlinger Ranch Lodge reserved for 2 days. So I need to
You don't think there's going to be some last minute loosies on that?
not to cover all.
How are you going to support the 1
Let me
day?
guess. The 1 day guy is Justin Carey.
Nope.
No?
Nope.
Huh. That guy's still just crushing.
Yeah, he's.
That brings up a good point.
Mm-hmm.
Guess who signed up for the Rat out of nowhere on Friday?
Justin Carey?
Justin Carey.
Oh, this will be interesting.
Ooh, he is so on form.
Yeah,
It's
he's
not
in
even
good.
funny.
He's in good shape right now.
And it's a good weather week.
Yeah.
It's a good weather week, at least the forecast so far. And his little 300 miles up in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A day of driving, and then 100 miles down at Whitney.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a nice little pre-training ride.
Yeah, but I'm interested to see how he does on multiple days, and then the logistics and stuff. He had to have been contemplating it and studying.
I don't know, and maybe he's just going out for. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what he has in mind.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting to watch that dot if
Yeah.
it's up there.
I can't wait to do some dot watching. So that makes it even spicier now. I would love to know what his intents are. So,
I mean, you know what his intent. You know what it is. It's
his
to
intent.
win.
His intent's to set the record.
Yeah.
that's what I was. That's what I was going with that.
If he's planning to do the full thing, that's his intent. But we also know Justin well enough to know that
He'll go off the front. 3 miles in.
Well, yeah, that's my guess. He's gonna do what he did at the the Mega Mid South.
Mega South, yeah, whatever it's called.
He's gonna just go out there and charge for 300 plus miles.
Yeah.
And then he's gonna take his first break. And
I did that, and it didn't work out too well.
I understand.
That's literally what I did, and it didn't. And it was, for me, it was dumb. It did not work out. But it was very hot that day. Very hot.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of factors that will come into play if that's what he's got in mind.
Like weather. I've been told it's a factor.
I've heard that rumor
every once in a while.
Yeah. Man.
Well, hey, you need to get your big boy pants on because we're doing it next year.
Oh yeah. I've
already cleared it.
I've said it so many times that I can't not do it now unless I lose a limb or something.
Yeah. And I think it will be. I remember one, wasn't 19 or 18? There was a group of 2 or 3 guys that did it starting on the west side. And they couldn't get past Turkey because of the mud, but they wanted to start and finish as a group. But have you ever had a tandem start and finish?
No.
Oh, Brad, we could set the fastest known tandem time.
The only caveat here is I do fully intend to bike pack the whole thing.
Okay. I'm just letting you know it's very difficult to do that.
That's fine.
He's been told that multiple times.
I've got a full year to plan.
Yeah.
And
I did sleep I slept in those wooden teepees at that public park in Bonham for about an hour. I took a nap.
Yeah.
I mean, there was no place to go.
Yeah.
And it's in 3:00 in the morning and you're tired as hell and you're looking for a place to sleep remotely securely. In peace.
Yeah.
Right. And I thought, oh yeah, a kid's park is a great idea.
So is this how you became an RSO?
Yeah,
a registered sex offender.
Yeah, this is why I've got a 500-foot ban. No, but you know what? I woke up
half naked in the park at sunup.
There were people out there at 4 a.m. running laps around the park on the pavement, and they never. I thought, oh shit, there's people out there running. They're going to see my bike and call the cops. Nobody said anything.
Yeah, what are they going to do?
Call the cops and say there's a hobo sleeping in a kid's playground equipment.
But I was talking to Shannon about this as well, and he knows that I fully intend to bike pack it, and you
also got to learn how to sleep in a tent too, Brad. And do you remember how to get in and out? Because last time I saw you, it was you had a little trouble getting in and out.
He hasn't been listening.
I can get in and out. I was telling Shannon, I said, obviously the hammock's out because once you get past essentially Wichita Falls, you're screwed.
Yeah,
before then even, but
yeah, it's really before then. But
so I mean, obviously,
really,
obviously, I have to revisit my sleep system. I need to give it some trial runs. I'm thinking bivvy. I don't think I need a full blown tent. But then again, this time of year, unless there's weather, meaning precipitation, you don't really need any kind of shelter. You just need a pad. And like a very light, I've got. You
don't need a shelter the first couple of days.
Yeah,
but like, in 2018, the day we started, it was 96 degrees.
Yeah,
and the day I finished, it was 27.
Yeah.
So like you need to be able to sleep on top of it or not in it at all on the warm nights.
Yeah, that's what. That's where I was going.
But you do need. You are going to want to get into it because that's the problem is. If you take just a bivvy, it may not be enough on those really, really cold nights. So you may want to bring I don't know. Like that's the thing is how do you prepare for it?
We've literally had temperatures range from 100 degrees to 15 degrees on the road.
Yeah.
With 50-mile-an-hour winds on one year.
That's not including the winds and the wet.
Yeah, I mean, I fully intend for there to be plenty of suckage, I don't want to get hypothermic, and I don't want to be ridiculous. I'm not saying throw caution to the wind just because you're going to have to nut up and embrace it. You know, you got to plan for rain, cold, you know, and obviously your shelter has to deal with that.
We should find if someone makes a 2-man bivvy, Brad.
A 2-story bivvy.
Yeah.
There are Dollar Generals, Walmarts, and Tractor Supplies along the route.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. I mean, you do get in those small towns at night, and there are places like I this is probably not considered the spirit of it, but if you know those towns and you've been through them enough, I've since driven through some of them just traveling, and I've gone, that's a good spot.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's a good spot right
There's
there.
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. I mean,
to kind of pre-scout
sleeping in post offices, you know, or behind the Dollar General, you know, just or anywhere you can get a windbreak if it's windy, you know. I mean, but like I told Shannon, I go, if you're tired enough, you can sleep pretty much anywhere. Yeah. You know, you throw a bivvy down in a ditch and just catch a, 3-hour nap, you know. Yeah. But I also, at least at this point in my thought process, I do intend to get decent sleep. I'm not going to try to run on 4 hours of sleep every day. You know? Sleep's too precious to me.
I really think the next time I do it, whether I do it with you or do it competitively, I am going to go way slower on the first end.
Yeah.
And not try, because what I tried to do was just gain as much separation as I could.
Yeah.
And then
you tried to front load it.
Yeah. And then I'm like, okay, I'm a day and a half. I'm stopping now to finally rest, but I'm a day and a half of everybody else. Now I can kind of ease back. But the problem is that
you dug a huge hole.
Oh man, I couldn't get out of it.
Yeah.
So it's like, let's ride 150 miles. Let's make it to Bonham the first night. We'll get it. You'll get into Bonham at 2 a.m., 1 a.m., and then we sleep until 7 or 8.
Yeah.
That's enough.
Yeah.
Or, there's always the possibility, I'm going to experiment with this as well, as if it's super hot, sleeping during the, finding a place to duck out of it during the day and ride in the night, ride through the night.
Yeah, I don't think that's a bad plan.
I feel like the nights go by faster when you're riding at night. Just like I did Unbound. I go back and I think that night ride went by so fast. From the time the sun went up to the time the sun went down, I still don't even... I had to go back and look at it and go, did I really do that? Because it went by so damn fast.
Yeah.
I don't know. Why does it do that? Why does night riding feel like you go by faster?
Man,
do you feel that, or is it just me?
I do feel that, but I also... It's... To me... Like I've said this before, like even riding North Shore at night, it's not as overwhelming visually, because you're not looking up the trail and seeing climbs and stuff like that. You're focusing on what's right in front of you. Mm-hmm. And so I would say, like, riding at night, like even when we did Midnight Mash, you're not looking 3 and 4 miles down the road or 10 or 20 miles down the road and seeing rises and going, I got to climb that.
Yeah.
Or whatever. You're just riding your bike and you're dealing with what's
immediately
in front of you. And so it changes the whole thought process.
Yeah.
So maybe that has to do with how your perception of time passes. I don't know.
Yep.
I don't know.
Time keeps on ticking into the future.
Into the future.
Ticking, yeah. I was trying to pull up the results of the ride, and for some reason the link is not taking me to the results. The Rad Dirt Fest. I'm literally clicking on the thing that says results, and it's not showing it to me. So
interesting. I was able to get onto it yesterday, but
so what place did Justin Carey finish?
I did. Actually, I never went to that level of detail.
Oh, so that's what I was looking for specifically.
I was just about to say, and that was on my list of things to do while I was there, and that didn't happen.
Yeah, it won't give me the results. I don't know. I don't know what that's about, but
it was working yesterday. Maybe they're listening to us talking about it.
I doubt it.
Probably not. But you never know. If those who issue cease and desist, there's no telling what they do. Let me see. Rad Dirt Fest. Results. The Rad Dirt Fest results. Results and photos. 2024 results and photos. View results. It's working for me.
Well, then fill me in.
I'm getting there. I'm looking for a name. Justin Carey. Bib number 386. Overall, 91st out of 162. 86 out of 147 male. 7 hours, 57 minutes, and 37 seconds. Average pace, 14.23 miles per hour. So that's what he did.
I thought he placed. I thought he was like up there.
Why did you think that?
He took a picture with two other guys, and it looked almost like a pseudo podium picture or something.
I saw that as a picture with friends.
Just friends. Okay.
That's the way I interpreted it.
Maybe it was wishful thinking.
Maybe,
Yeah.
and maybe he was. I think wasn't he saying the Rad was his gimme entry into Leadville or something like that?
Something like that. Yeah.
So just showing up, basically, you're guaranteed a Leadville spot. So maybe he was doing a recovery ride in anticipation of the Rad.
Yeah.
And locking down his Leadville spot.
Huh.
But I mean, depending what happens this week, upcoming week with Justin, we might have to have another conversation with him in the not too distant future.
He's just gonna have to take up residency.
Well, there's room.
Yeah.
What else is going on with bikes? You got
Shimano launched. We finally launched their trail advocacy program. I can talk about that now.
Yeah.
So we
Tell me more.
We worked on that for about a year. They wanted to, there's a lot of, and they have partnered with other advocacy or trail building nonprofits financially and done partnerships, but they actually didn't have their own. So they created the Shimano Trail Advocacy Foundation, and they have made a promise of to donate $10 million over the next 10 years for the development of trails, really kind of all over the globe. But they're rolling it out kind of regionally over the next 2 years. So the first major project, and they're not, this money won't be going to things like the OZ trails, already established groups that already have, that get money and things. This is for really and truly, this is like for what I do at South Lakes.
spam risk, suspected spam caller.
Answer it live.
Yeah,
No, I'm
live.
not going to.
This are like this is to create trails, not necessarily to maintain trails.
Right.
So it's the creation of more mileage.
Yeah.
But it is to smaller groups, and basically what they'll do is they'll have different financial contributions based on the size and scope of the project. Some things they may want to put more money into, some things maybe less. The first major project, I think, is in Portland. So they'll do Portland, and
Where's Shimano's U.S. headquarters?
they're in Irvine.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but most of them work remotely.
Okay.
Most of my clients definitely are both one's in Colorado, one's in northern. We're just right outside of San Francisco. So anyway, that's pretty cool. They announced it at when did they announce it? Whatever the big mountain bike festival in British Columbia. What is that? Is that Crankworks?
I
think it was
really
at Crankworks. They did that announcement. So they've got PR releases and stuff on it. They're not accepting. They haven't opened up the application process yet. I think we're going to start that the first of the year.
Yeah.
But it's a pretty cool deal to be. It was exciting to be a part of and kind of help establish some of the parameters around it and get it on the kind of the ground end of it.
That is cool. And is it going to be across the U.S. or is it going
It's
to
gonna be
focus
worldwide?
It's going to start. 25 will be Europe and USA focused, and then by 27 it'll be global. There, I think 25 they've got 2 or 3 locations in United States and Europe, and then 26 I think they've got one identified in Australia. Those are the ones they've already identified that they want immediately, that they kind of did some research on and wanted to help out. That's not, but then it'll start trickling into the application process to where you apply.
But they don't have an application process yet?
Yeah, they're still lining out how, like
Understood.
the operational aspect of that.
Because I'm sure there's people that are listening to this. Oh, how do I apply? So not quite there
yet.
But this is all trail oriented, right?
Yes, trail
off-road.
Yes,
off-road.
This comes directly from the mountain bikes, Shimano mountain bike.
Yeah.
So there's some other aspects of it yet that have not been released, but for the most part, it's super exciting to.
That is very cool
to be a part of that. They'll do another larger. They did like a trickle PR on it. Mm-hmm. They announced it, but they didn't really. It was more like a hey, this thing is kind of happening, but it was a little less pomp and circumstance. But that's that will soon change.
That's cool. And as a SRAM fan, I have to just say, SRAM, where you at? Like, how come it seems like SRAM should step up and do something similar?
Fox does.
Yeah.
And SRAM owns Fox. So
I guess that makes sense.
No, they own RockShox.
No, they own RockShox.
Never mind.
Oh, yeah.
Never mind.
Don't twist my head like that.
Yeah, sorry.
What?
Yeah. I was
almost broke my neck with that double
the
take.
matrix.
Which is interesting because I am a SRAM fan, but I don't like RockShox. I'm a Fox fan.
Well, RockShox was RockShox, then it became. I mean,
Yeah.
SRAM acquired all these things.
And I don't like SRAM brakes either. So,
Are you really a SRAM fan?
I really am a SRAM fan.
You're not sounding that way.
Well, I mean, from a drivetrain standpoint, I'm a SRAM fan. How about that?
Okay, all right. Let's put let's proper qualifier on there.
I guess that's very cool. I'd be interested to see how that
It's very
whole thing
cool
develops.
that you were an integral piece of all this.
Yeah, that's been fulfilling. I've been very excited about that and having to kind of hold on to that info. So we've created a lot of things and materials around it that haven't been displayed yet, I guess is the right word.
Yeah.
But that's going to be fun.
That haven't been released.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing like super secret. It's
have they done any press releases or anything?
There are official press releases on, like Bike Rumor has it, Pink Bike has it. There's I mean, it's out there for sure.
Understood. Very cool. What else bike? Because all we do is talk bikes. And what are your thoughts of the new Lincoln Park?
What? Is that a thing?
Oh my God. I'm so sick of this shit.
Are we talking about the band?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are they back?
Yeah. New singer.
Oh.
They've got a female lead singer now.
Was never a huge fan.
Yeah.
I don't have anything against them. I just don't think about them.
It's a running joke. Never.
Oh, is that an inside
You
joke?
haven't been listening. I'm hurt.
I'm hurt. No, I am behind.
I'm
behind.
so hurt.
I know. I need to get caught up.
I'll give you my patented response. Who gives a shit?
I'm going to see.
I mean, I have had to put up with your Merle Haggard bro country bullshit talk for
Merle
years.
Haggard is not bro country.
What
are we doing?
Merle Haggard and bro country.
Yeah.
I have no clue what you're even alluding to.
R.I.P. Chris Christopherson.
No shit.
That dude wrote some great songs.
And he was pretty good in Blade, too.
And he was part of the Highwaymen.
He was part of the Highwaymen.
I mean...
Yeah, he was OG.
Did he ride a bike?
He probably did whatever the hell he wanted to do.
No doubt
when you had looks like that. Hey, speaking of, I got a bucket list concert on Friday. Probably a band that you guys don't know about, but I'm excited.
Let me guess. Him?
Well, you're just pulling stuff way back. The Wayback Machine. I don't even know if they're around anymore.
Oh.
No, I'm going to see High on Fire.
Don't even know who they are.
I know. That's okay. But I'm excited about it because
Are they bro country?
They're very country. It's the country of countryrists.
Double bass drum country?
double bass guitar country.
Oh shit!
They're the country version of Spinal Tap. Everybody plays bass guitar.
I thought you were going to say they're the Lamb of God of country.
That's pretty good too. That's pretty good too.
Where's that show?
That's going to be at the Granada.
Okay.
Yeah, I like the Granada.
I think we'd be remiss without acknowledging what has happened and is still going on in North Carolina, which is also a big cycling mecca. And I watched Burn Peak Express. I watched his most recent video because he is basically in the center of all that, and he's
in Brevard, right?
Yeah, I think
that's where Malone is.
Yeah,
how's Malone doing?
I reached out to Vic.
Dylan is too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I reached out to Vic just to check on him, and he said, "Oh, we're fine, thanks." That was it. A few words.
Yeah.
But they got hammered.
Did you see the video of the POV of the video? Someone was standing on the deck of their back of their house, and to the left was a hill. You couldn't see over the hill, and they're standing there. I've never seen this happen before, and a wall of water launches over the hill, 15 feet in the air, and comes down and knocks either a barn or a house down the hill off the foundation. But you're literally, it's not like a trickle of water that suddenly gets big.
Right.
It's a nice grass mowed, manicured lawn, and this just,
it's like a tsunami.
Red, brown, chocolate milk water just comes violently launched over the side, and it just,
I haven't seen that.
It really because when we see the videos, we see water already flowing, that's knocking shit down, right? Like the bridges and stuff. But to see a dry yard and then it looked like a tsunami.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
Yeah, well, there was places, I don't know exactly where, that got over 35 inches of rain in, I think it was 24 hours or something. It was absolutely ridiculous.
I'm a big fan of Rockgeist. I'm Rockford back and Rockgeist, but Rockgeist is located there in Asheville.
Yeah.
And they're decimated.
Industry 9's there.
Yeah.
Cane Creek's there.
Yeah. Endless Bikes is there.
Endless is there.
Have you guys ever been to Asheville?
No.
Yes.
I have not.
Such a great town. I don't want it to happen to any town. I'm not saying it particularly because it's a great town, but it is.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful town.
Well, hopefully they will A, recover, and B, maybe, this wasn't even a once in 100 year.
This is 1,000 years.
Yeah.
So I was going to say maybe they can build back better and maybe take some lessons from it, but geez, nobody saw that coming.
But there's nothing lesson wise, there's nothing you can do. So when my family lives in Baton Rouge, and they had the flood of 2016, 17, whenever that was.
Yeah.
Their canal system is really good.
Yeah.
Baton Rouge has got a lot of problems, but their canal system is,
for the most part,
is fit to handle way more rain than what they normally get.
Yeah.
But the problem was that amount of rain they couldn't have imagined was going to fall. So it was like when you're prepared to have a shitload of rain all the time, because Baton Rouge is tropical. It's essentially a tropical area. Well, it's constantly raining.
That's the same thing with North Carolina. Like, nobody could have anticipated they were going to get that much rain.
But there's no way they could have ever built a canal system that would have handled that to begin with.
Right.
No, but the thing that I did see on the Burn Peak Express video, because he was on like a side-by-side or a gator or whatever, running around town and just kind of showing some of the impact of the storm. And the thing that I did notice was there was a lot of landslides because of the grade that the land was. It was just, and the amount of rain they got, it was just washing trees down the grade because it was so steep.
Right.
And I don't know if, it's probably not fixable retroactively, but going forward, maybe they could go, hey, we probably don't want to leave this as steep if we're going to put a road right next to it. They're not worried about falling rocks, but if you're getting dumped on by rain.
It's mountains there. You have no choice but to carve the roads through the grade. That's true.
But did you watch the video, the Burn Peak Express?
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
It was insane how many trees were down and just the amount of water that was standing.
The stretch of Interstate 40 going through the Great Smoky Mountains from western North Carolina through Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
That's completely blown out.
Yeah.
It's closed until September of next year at
That's insane.
the earliest. Am I still on? That was weird.
Yeah, that was weird.
But I that was the way I came back from Charlotte
Yeah.
after my daughter's wedding, and I'd never been through there before. And it's, it was absolutely gorgeous drive, and now it's all gone.
Yeah.
And I mean, that was definitely part of our plans, and it still is. I mean, I'm not saying it's gone away, but when we get to Georgia, that was one of the things. It's like, that's gonna be fantastic. We can be in the Pisgah
Yeah.
in just a couple hours,
Yeah.
generally speaking, and playing around and all that stuff, and even the stuff further south in Georgia.
Well, Georgia got hammered too.
Georgia got hammered too.
Yeah.
Yeah. The what I'm calling our river, Lake Jackson, overflowed down the river that goes right next to our property, or what will be our property.
Yeah.
And
How'd your kinfolk fare?
the property itself is on high ground.
Yeah.
So it's more up and down. It's not mountainous there, but it is all up and down.
Yeah.
So you build on the high ground and let everything run down to the low ground,
Yeah.
sort of thing.
Makes sense.
So
With the amount of priorities they have, they said there's like 1/3 of the AT is closed, and with the priorities
sure.
of getting
Yeah.
infrastructure and living,
that's
that you're looking at years.
that's years down the road
Yeah.
before that's
Yeah.
back on track.
Speaking of which, did you see this female that just did the FKT?
48 days.
40 days.
It was 40 days.
40 days and like 40 minutes or
Yeah.
something like that.
Insane.
Yeah.
We were talking about that yesterday at work.
Yeah. I think it was 40 days.
Yeah, that
You make me question myself now.
Less than 50.
It was less than 50. Whether it was 40 or 48, I mean,
Yeah.
48's impressive. I thought it was 48, but yeah, we were actually talking about that yesterday.
AT, Appalachian Trail.
Appalachian
That's
Trail.
right. I'm looking
Georgia
it up
to
right now.
Maine.
FKT Appalachian Trail unsupported. She ran unsupported, right?
No.
No?
No.
Okay,
You
I'll
can't do
just
that
look up.
unsupported. That's impossible.
Okay.
Scott Jurek, and he the one that had the previous one, he did it definitely supported. I think it was Scott Jurek. I can't remember.
This is it. Tara Dower. is
Dower,
her
that's
name.
right.
Yeah.
And what was their time?
40 days, and it says 2,189 miles, 40 days, and 3 showers.
Wait, say those numbers again. What's the distance total?
2,189 miles.
2,189 divided by 40?
Mm-hmm.
Is that 70 miles a day? No.
It's 54.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's actually it's 55.
Yeah. It's almost running a
Holy
double
shit.
marathon off-road every day.
How do you do that?
Genetics. You can't train like
You
we've
got to be
talked about this
really
before.
dumb. Really, you
Well,
got to be able to turn
she
everything
genetically
off.
has knees that can hold up to this shit. Like you can't train for that.
No.
Well, I mean, she obviously
No,
trained.
you can, but you can only get to a genetic point to where your body's going to allow you to do that.
Here's the thing that I find the most astounding is she only beat the previous record by 13 hours. I mean, somebody else did it in 41 days.
Is this
you know?
is this non-gender specific record, or is this gender specific record?
It must be.
No, every listing I saw was the FKT. It was not for women.
That's what
Yeah.
I thought, but
Which I love.
I'm clarifying.
But
Yeah.
she also the previous record was Carol with a K, Arel. So I'm assuming that's a female as well.
No, that was a Dutch dude. I want to say the previous record holder, he was not from the United States.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but because I remember when I was looking this up,
Yeah.
I got what I thought was a female name, and it turned out it looked like it was.
Okay.
Why don't you Google the name and see what
But
comes
it
up?
does say Dower on September 21st. Do you remember? Dower became the fastest person.
Oh shit!
The fastest person in history to complete the Appalachian Trail.
Person
so that
is non-gender specific.
That's non-gender
I like
specific.
it.
Yeah, that is that's something that it's amazing, but it doesn't appeal to me in the least. Like, I would love to go dick around on Appalachian Trail, do some through hiking. I mean,
I've done some. Kay and I have been on segments of it, and we were in one of the harder sections of it in the White Mountains.
yeah, which is
in New
where
Hampshire.
New Hampshire.
And it's not all of it is like that, but that section, just that area, and I'm thinking, man, this is anyone that can make it through it's impressive.
Yeah, can you imagine covering 54 miles of that a day on average?
How much is your pack weigh? 40 pounds?
Well, in this video...
Well, she's supported, so she's not carrying anything other than food, and they food and water, and they meet up at intersecting roads and stuff. I mean, they're tracking her, and there's a and I think it's Scott Jurek. I can't remember. There's a documentary you can watch and it shows the logistics of how they're communicating and able to meet up with him.
Yeah. I watched a video a couple of weeks ago, and it was a guy that was intersecting a bunch of people that were through hiking, and I can't remember if it was Appalachian Trail or not, but he was basically interviewing people and going, what's a piece of gear that you thought you would need and you immediately discarded, or what's a piece of gear you wish you would have brought? And it's, because just like bikepacking, everybody's gear selection is very personal, but, there is kind of a template, if you will, and there's all kinds of people that lay out their gear before they go on trips and take pictures of it, just to give you an idea. And, there is a very large faction of people that weight is a consideration. Ultralight through hiking is a thing where people want their pack to be 25 pounds or whatever. Yeah. So I think a lot of people are foregoing comfort items, if you will. You got a mosquito on your forehead.
It's okay. It's my friend.
Oh, okay.
Got him.
But, I don't even know how you... I would be...
So what were some of the items?
Oh, I can't remember. I'm sorry.
Great. Thanks for that.
You don't want anything tangible out of what he says, do you?
So no one's packing a frozen steak or boxed wine?
No. You have to admit that was epic, though.
Oh, that was the... Love you, Carl.
Hey, I was the one that showed up with the steaks,
yeah,
though.
but Carl the first year showed up with a boxed wine, and no one expected that.
Dude, that was so out of pocket.
He pulled out salami, hard cheese, and boxed red wine, and we were like, what the...
And he had a box of wine for every night.
He did.
That was the thing.
The dude had his priorities.
Yeah. It was pretty impressive. Carl's
I'm not arguing with that logic at all.
Carl's a hell of a guy.
Great guy.
Oh, so her official time was 40 days and 18 hours. And the previous runner, the Belgian runner, you're right,
okay.
Carol Saab, finished 41 days, 7 hours, and 38 minutes in 2018.
Can you pull your shirt down? I need to see that logo. That is amazingly similar to the Spinistry logo.
You're going to send him a cease and desist?
No, I'm not. It's
my, how the tables have turned.
No, I'm just that's shockingly similar.
Is it?
Yeah.
Why? Because it has a gear?
It's got the gear, it's got the banner, ribbon. And my arrow and heart design looks very similar to that leaf design.
Oh, speaking of arrows, I found we were talking about arrows around the circle last night at TNSS, and I know a guy that has like...
I already told him no.
40 of your arrows.
I already told him no.
Oh, did you?
Because he didn't find them, he borrowed them.
No.
He tried to sell them back to you?
No. He told me that he needed to get them back to you.
Okay.
How did he get 40?
He took them down. They were at OCNP.
OCNP.
Yeah. And
I thought I'd already gotten those back from him.
Well, the discussion took place because that foot race that was there, not this past weekend, but the weekend before, there's still arrows on the trail. And then I found out, you know who put on that foot race? The trail steward for North Shore.
Okay.
And I'm like, that seems like if this was a Dorba event or a Spinistry, God forbid, a Spinistry event, and there was still arrows up a week and a half later, there would be all kinds of just pooflinging on the internet. And now granted, all the arrows weren't up, but there was still a dozen.
I understood.
And it's like, what are you doing? If you're really an advocate for the trail... But I did play devil's advocate in the same breath, and I said, well, maybe he tasked someone with removing said arrows, and they feel like they got them all.
That's a high likelihood.
Yeah,
that falls into one of my 3 strikes and you're out rules. I used to task others to do that, and I thought things were taken care of, and
Yeah.
I find out later they're not.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, okay, well, that's on me for
Yeah.
thinking everybody's on the same page, and they're not. So
Yeah.
it's a responsibility I take
Yeah.
on my own.
I get that. I don't know why it's a hot button for me, but it seems like if you're going to put on an event, and I'm not talking about you specifically,
No, I understand.
I'm more focused on.
I understand what you're saying, but I'm gonna give the promoter the benefit of the doubt that
And that's what I did ultimately, But I couldn't help but think.
I mean, somebody else asked me a very similar question. I can't remember who it was, but in the last week,
I did
Was
on the
it-
last
was
podcast
it?
when
Okay,
McAfee
okay.
was here.
and maybe we never got a chance to really talk about it.
What did those guys not want in their pack at the Appalachian Trail? You can't even remember who told you that, and you expect me to remember some random item that somebody said they didn't need.
Well, when you were bringing it up again, it's like, oh, he's going down this road again. Maybe it was somebody else that was talking to
No.
me. But I think the question was asked, what are the requirements for it?
Yeah.
I don't remember any specific requirements from the Corps
Yeah.
about turnaround time on taking down signage.
Yeah.
Does that mean there isn't a rule? Not necessarily. I don't remember that ever being
Yeah.
the signage has to be down within 48 hours or anything nothing
Yeah.
specific like that. I think it's kind of like ride as far to the right as is practical. What does that mean?
Right.
I don't, take signage down as soon as it's practical.
Yeah.
So what does that mean?
But it's not like we've been dealing with inclement weather or anything. It just seems like to me a sense of pride thing. I'm talking about myself.
I understand that, and did you bring it to the trail steward's attention? Maybe he doesn't even know at this point.
I was sitting next to who was I talking? Our favorite eccentric person, Drew Tucker, and he said, I'm good friends with the trail steward, and he goes, he probably doesn't know there's arrows still out there. He goes, I'll bring it to his attention, and he goes, because it's ironic that he is the facilitator of the foot race
Right.
and the trail steward, so he obviously cares, and
Okay. And this was last night, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're all on the same page.
yeah.
We're all
So-
on the same page. You're just trying to create controversy. Contrived versy Brad.
Well, not true.
I know.
Instigator.
Back to Appalachian Trail. This says 465,000 feet of total vertical gain.
Yeah,
That's
it's
just-
just one mountain climb after the another.
She ran and hiked an average of 54 miles each day, which good thing.
It's a good thing I'm a
He did
great
the math.
calculator.
Yeah.
He did the math.
Yeah, well, I had some help.
Yeah. So each day with consistent support from her mom and friend, and they named both of them, in addition to volunteers who paced her through different sections. Her days began with a 3 a.m. alarm, usually from a tent close to the trail, followed by a quick breakfast. After taping blisters and sores on her feet, she set off in the dark. That's got to be the worst.
Yeah.
Because you're just
I bet
running on open wounds.
I bet she has no toenails.
toenails. Yeah.
None. They're
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Speaking of trail running, though, one of my goals, Kay made me set a goal at my birthday a couple weeks ago. What do you want to do? Something new. And I want to sign up and do, because I love trail running, but I do it for the enjoyment of, because I like to run, but I can't run on pavement because it's boring as hell.
And it's bad for you.
Yeah. And it's, my ADHD has to have some kind of
Yeah.
stimulant to negotiate trail stuff. Anyway, I was surprised, not complaining. I'm not being old man, pawpaw complaining, but I was surprised how significantly more expensive trail race entries are than bike races.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know.
Huh.
Again, not complaining. I know people set these up as a business and
Sure.
they have to make money,
Sure.
but it's not cheap.
Yeah.
It's not cheap.
So what are you signing up for?
Yeah, that is very close, Kevin.
Pretty
You're
similar-
right.
that's pretty
yeah,
similar,
That's,
isn't it?
that's close.
Show me.
There's a colored version too that has those colors in it. Who has the color? I think either
I
Carl.
have it.
You have the colored version.
Yeah.
Carl and Red have it.
I'm not knocking.
Yeah.
It was just a general comment.
Well, I don't want to name names and down because I don't want that to be at all. Because we have a friend that's associated with them. Anyway, I was just surprised. They start out around $100, close to it. Which
Yeah.
I know there are bike races like that, but I wouldn't have thought. It just surprised me.
It's the realm of supply and demand.
But
what it is?
what's the difference between putting on a foot race and putting on a bike race? You're not supplying the bikes, so you're just.
I don't know. I guess I made an assumption that would be. I'm like, oh, they're probably around the same. Whoa, they're not. Okay.
I would imagine that all the moving parts are identical. You still need porta potties. You still need somewhere to park all the cars. You still need somebody to mark the trails. You need, course people on course. You need
generally the running events are going to be easier to put on than a bicycle event, generally speaking, and they're going to be less expensive. The insurance is tremendously less, and the actual logistics of being able to do it. Generally speaking, the land managers are going to be very amenable to trail runners, whereas. Oh, you want to have 200 bicycles out racing?
People think about liability immediately.
Yes. Oh, those bikes are going 40 miles an hour and da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just trail runners. So it's easier to get the approval, I guess, is what I'm getting at. But it's also a lot more people are, again, that's a much broader niche than anything bicycle related, let alone mountain bike. So where it takes all the effort in the world to get 200 bicycles to show up for an event.
Yeah.
If you limit a trail running event to 200 people, you're going to have 1,000 people that are trying to get into it. So you can charge a higher price.
Maybe we should just start organizing trail running.
That's not my passion.
Yeah. I appreciate that. I appreciate that hardcore.
So,
but this is how my weird brain works. I've been meaning to ask you about this, and we talk about trail running, and you talk about a trail running event. I immediately think of our LBJ Grasslands trip, which reminds me of the trail running event. And I think about the Crazy Water connection I made.
So funny you were going to.
And I keep meaning to ask you this.
I did reach out to them.
You did? And did you hear back? Is there anything in the works? Is it going to happen? Or
I was actually, this was literally my shower thought today. Along those.
You've already showered today?
I know.
So ambitious.
Some of us roll out of bed before 9. But
I was out of bed well before 9.
Okay. I believe you. I was thinking about that exact conversation with other stuff that I'm in the middle of right now. And it's like, someday Brad's going to ask me this, so I'm going to have to be ready for it. And it's like, wow. It's like we're in sync.
The universe is meshing. Man.
So, yes, I reached out to your Crazy Water contact. And yes, they were very accommodating and excited with the potential of working together. But I don't think we will be working together anytime soon because their requirements don't line up with the way I do events. I'm too scattered and not organized enough in advance to suit their scheduling needs. I need to be able to tell them 6 months in advance, I need you on this date for this number of people.
Oh, they need you to schedule that far out. That's what you're saying.
I'm oversimplifying it, but it needs to be very structured and not Kevin's traditional Spinistry. Hey, we've got an open weekend next weekend. Let's do something fun.
Yeah, that doesn't work for them.
No.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't expect it to.
Sure.
I was kind of hoping it would be more along the lines of, hey, just swing on by and pick up a few jugs of water anytime you want.
Yeah.
I would have driven out there for that for certain events, not every one of them, sort of thing. Or, hey, can I keep a bunch in the garage? Hey, fantastic, we'll talk you guys up. No, they want to have their on-site presence, which makes all the sense in the world to me. I get that completely.
Yeah, because they want to tell you the history and everything else.
They want to tell their story. I get it completely. And somewhere down the road, and who knows, maybe Privateer will be able to do that sort of thing.
I'd love to see y'all do something with them because it's a cool thing. Period. Crazy Water and the whole, that's the whole reason that Mineral Wells is named Mineral Wells because of all the wells full of minerals there.
Crazy Water.
Yeah. Well, Crazy Water is Crazy Water because it's so mineral heavy. But, and the guy was just, super nice guy.
Super nice.
And so I was so excited about making that connection. And then I kept thinking, I haven't heard Kevin mention anything. And then I had this fleeting fear that you just lost his business card and we'd lost that contact altogether.
No. It became clear that it wasn't the right timing for the way I do things for us to start meshing like that. But maybe something next year.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I'd be stoked to see that.
Episode 80 brought to you by Crazy Water. Crazy, crazy, crazy.
I do love me some crazy water.
It's good.
That's about all I have as far as, I mean, we weren't even talking about bikes. We were talking about running, but I still think that's...
Well, sometimes when your bike breaks, you have to run.
Yeah, or walk. I'm getting ready to hike a bike a little bit. 2 weekends. 3 weekends? 2 weekends from this coming weekend. Going to Missouri.
Yeah.
Going to the BT Epic.
What day is it on?
It's on Saturday.
The 19th?
19th.
Dang.
Yep.
You're gonna miss the Geezer show.
I know. I did a ride this past weekend. We left from here at 7 a.m. It was my ride that I invited.
My ride.
Because I didn't have anything going on this weekend, so I decided to do a big ride on Saturday. And we rode from here. I was on my single speed. That's why I say it was my ride, because I was doing it as a training ride. And there were 3 other guys that joined us that were all on geared bikes that are all significantly stronger than me anyways. Adam was one of them. Doug, roadie guy from out of the Keller shop, and then Austin Whittington joined us. So, and Austin rode in typical fashion, rode from Grapevine to meet us.
Yeah.
And we rolled out of here at 7 on the dot, and before we even got to 5T Ranch right down here, he was riding towards us. And so we rode from here, rode down to Canyon Falls, rode all of Canyon Falls, hopped across, rode that construction road that parallels 377 into the intersection of Knob Hills, rode out to the parking lot, hit the parking lot, and then did the trail all the way to the end.
Yeah.
And then continued on and made it all the way to High Road.
How was
everyth's clear?
How was the backside?
Awful.
Yeah.
Those guys hated me.
Yeah, I bet they did.
Did
they not read the brochure?
I told them we were standing there drinking where the boat launch is, at the very end of the trail. Yeah. And I go, hey guys, this next section is very questionable. I said, it may be groomed and nice, and it may be indiscernible. It was a little bit of both.
Yeah.
The very beginning was bush hogged, like 6 feet wide.
Yeah.
Fine. It was still loamy and stuff. And then when you get to the point where the boat dock is, that's sitting on the water, and you kind of go uphill, it was, we lost the trail.
Trashed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was...
that's right. They probably haven't done anything with that since the flood.
Yeah,
I wasn't even thinking about that.
Where that old bridge was, the bridge is moved.
Yeah.
It's not even where it's supposed to be. And there were literally weeds that were chin high.
Yeah.
And you could barely see. If you did this little
they're not going to
prairie dog, you could barely see a line. And so I just rode through everything. And then we got to probably 3 or 4 sections that were 100 feet of just driftwood, just stacked.
Yeah. Was there any large trees down? Because we cut down, we probably cut 4, maybe 5 very, very large trees on that work day at Knob Hill that were laying completely across. Big trees.
There was one at Knob Hill on whatever the Beaver Loop is.
I'm about to say, Knob Hill trees go down from Beavers.
Yeah. There was one across, there was 2 across the trail at Knob Hills.
Yeah. Were there?
Yeah, that we had to dismount and go over.
Those beavers out there are angry.
They are. That's what I hear.
That's what it is. Angry beaver.
Angry, yeah.
It was literally on that loop. And then we rode to High Road, and then went up to off of High Road. I forgot what it's called. Hideaway Trail or something.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and then took that down to the creek and did the connector that pops, and then we went into...
To go to Twin Coves?
We went into Twin Coves, went to the little shack there, had a Coke and Snickers and whatever, and refilled waters, and then went into the trail, rode all the way to...
Did y'all go into the trail there, or did y'all double back?
We went into the trail right behind there.
Yeah. You only missed maybe
a quarter of a mile.
Yeah, maybe.
Rode all the way to the turnaround by Lakeside, and then rode all the way back to Mad, and then got out at Consalvo and took the road all the way back. But it
Simmons and all that.
It was headwind the whole way home.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good win that day.
Yeah. And it was literally, I pulled in the driveway and my computer hit 60 miles.
Oh, nice.
It was 60.
That's hard. That's 60 hard miles though, for sure.
Yeah. So I felt good and strong the whole time. So I was happy. Happy.
Speaking of trail work, when we first started marking and cutting our way into South Lakes, I said, "There's no way we're going to build this trail without having the cops called on us."
Yeah,
finally happened.
Yeah,
we had a trail work day week before last.
And just to clarify, you don't have to like clear this with the city. You don't tell the city, "Hey, we're having a work day on."
Yeah,
you do.
Yeah, I tell them. I let them know, and they create the city has a volunteer website that sends out notifications to people that are signed up for notifications.
Yeah.
So if you, it should have gone across. I had 3 volunteers that were there for their high school National Honor Society volunteer hours. So not the most productive day. But anyway, I was out there. But the city, I'd let them know. I email them and say, "Hey, I'm going to have a work day out there," and they're cool with it. But yeah, finally, I'm out there running a chainsaw, and the guy goes, "Hey, this is a cop on the trail. This is a kid. He's like 17 years old."
Did you go hide your shit?
I walked over there and I said, "Hey, I bet you're looking for me." Turns out, is typical Denton cop who is there. I've never had a bad problem. I've never had a run-in or a bad experience with a Denton cop. I said, "Hey, I'm with the city. I'm a volunteer." And he goes, "Well, you had the gate open, so I figured as much." And so we chit-chatted for a minute. I said, "Look," and I was joking around with him. I said, "Look, if you're going to waste all my time talking to me, you might as well pick up a shovel and come work with us." And anyway, we kind of had a chuckle, but I knew it was going to happen eventually. I was out there.
So somebody called the police on you?
Yeah, someone either heard or saw me running a chainsaw and called the police. But
Karen's going to Karen.
Yeah, but I kind of get it.
I would rather they call if there's a concern.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
I would rather someone either call or approach me and say, "Hey, what are you doing?"
I'm not going to approach anyone with a chainsaw.
No. Well, even when I'm not with a chainsaw, but saying like, "Hey, what's going on?" And as opposed to, I don't want anybody to go out there and be scared.
Yeah.
And be worried. Like, that's a place where you should be able to go and feel safe, hiking, biking, whatever you're doing. But anyway, I'm happy to say, other than putting topsoil over the berms, Loop 1 is done. I went out there and did some reroutes, straightened a few places that are too whippy curvy.
Yeah.
Loop 1's done.
Very cool.
I'm going to start next work day. We're going to start cutting Loop 2. So.
I was looking for an email that I think you forwarded me, but I don't see it. That came from Susie Rumor, which was what made me think of it, because she's helped with the trail.
Mm-hmm. She's awesome.
She asked a question on, and I think you sent me the email. I can't remember, but then I came across this email that you did send me from just this past Friday. It says, "Hey, ShiftLess hosts. Just something I was thinking about on the last race. I feel like Kevin is spoiling us with arrows. Almost every other gravel race I do that is not Spinistry does not have trail arrows. And people just use their GPS to navigate." I immediately knew who it was because of all the spelling errors.
It wasn't me.
No.
Well, then there must be someone else that types as bad as I do.
The Justin Carey.
Oh, yeah, he's way worse.
Yeah. And he said, and lots of the races don't even have water tables. He said, "It makes me feel bad sometimes to hear how hard Kevin is working to put on the races." What a sweetheart. "I think the next race I'll be facing Sean will be Texas Chain Ring, and the next day the privateer race. I plan on beating him in both races."
Oh, shots
Love
fired.
this shit.
Let's do it.
I love it.
Well, thanks for the kind words, Justin. That means a lot to me.
Yeah. I mean, even if one person cares.
That means a lot to me.
Yeah. I think he has fair points, but at the same rate,
That goes along to what we were talking about a minute ago when I said I didn't think Kevin should portage gear on the Rat, and you made a very good point by saying, but that we should have gateways for people to experiment, and I think that's what is good.
That's what I was just about to say.
You can't say we want people
we want
to grow. I mean, Kevin's one of his I'm speaking for you, Kevin, but one of your points is like making it accessible and building the community and
building the skill set.
But that's I see both sides, but I'm glad that Kevin does the arrows and the water tables, because I think it maybe is a little more inclusive to people that aren't quite as adventurous or don't want to take that risk.
That's definitely part of it, but okay. And maybe my logic is wrong. Maybe this is cheap ass Kevin logic in the way I would look at. Why would I pay for an event that doesn't provide me any kind of support?
Sure.
Why do I pay $200 for a GPS plot and carry my own water? I don't get that. But I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying, personally, it's like, thank you for your money. I got to do something for you, sort of thing. Part of. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
There has to be some service associated with it.
Well, you've also got people like Red that never download the route that depend on the arrows. I downloaded the route.
I'm not even going to comment on that. I will say with the Garmin 1040, it has become like stupid easy. I used to struggle very hard with getting routes on my computer. And it was mostly because I'm a dumb fuck.
Now, keep in mind, though, the ease of that is not necessarily an applause to Garmin.
No, it's just all the talking.
Garmin has an open API for the technology that allowed Ride with GPS to do all the legwork. Now, if Kevin were to publish his routes,
what does that acronym mean? API.
Application. Shit, I don't even know.
Oh, okay.
Basically what it is they say
data transfer.
They say here's an open lane to use to implement and integrate our products with something else.
Yeah.
Like Google Maps. When you go to a website that uses Google Map with the locations, because Google offers an API, an open API that people can utilize their service.
Right.
Maybe Garmin Ride with GPS may have to pay a certain amount to have that. Maybe it's not a free API.
It's freaking cool, though.
But Garmin, you can do it. If Kevin built his routes in Garmin only and did the Garmin route, then you would have that same technology. But make no mistake, Ride with GPS did a lot of work to be able to have that seamless integration.
Yeah, it's pretty badass. A couple of weekends ago, I was out at Forestburg, and I had said, Kevin, hey, would you put me together like an hour-long route? And he, zero hesitation, sends me 3 separate routes. And I was loading up my stuff, and I just pull up the routes and just clicked on download on Ride with GPS and didn't even have to worry about it. I pull up a route, and it's automatically there, and I just followed it. It was freaking awesome, you know? So, I'm sorry I cut you off. Go ahead.
I just want to throw this one piece in there, just because. When it's super easy like that, it's real easy to get spoiled when things don't go right for whatever reason. And I just want to bring up an example of, and I don't know the whys and the wherefores of it, but Sunday we had a ride that we did at the Fort Worth Trinity Trails. A bunch of people came for that had never ridden the Trinity Trails before, and that was cool. But for some reason, a lot of people on Garmin's weren't able to make the route work for whatever reasons. And
did the route cross itself?
Sure.
Yeah. Garmin doesn't like that for some reason.
But I was riding with Rich for a good bit of it, and his was working fine. And he said, and he actually made the comment, it's really, my Garmin's working fantastic. It's not having the problems with the crossovers and stuff like that. So what the other people's issues were, I don't know.
Yeah.
But the one thing that I did differently on this route that I've never done before, sorry, not sorry, I actually downloaded the GPX from my Strava rides, actually riding this route, and imported that as opposed to hand plotting and everything.
Oh.
Yeah.
Everyone on Wahoo's, it worked fine. Everyone using Ride with GPS, it worked fine. Some of the people on Garmin's had issues for some reason. I still don't know. But anyway.
Yeah, crossing routes, man. When we did the spring ride, you guys lost your damn minds when it was absolute chaos.
Well,
there was like a...
Yeah,
it was right past where we.
And I asked you about it. What happened here? You guys did missed a turn and turned around or something?
It was like Lord of the Flies. It was fucking mutiny.
Well, to be fair, I was way out of shape at that point, and I was nervous about the ride, and I didn't want to ride 100 yards that I didn't have to. I mean, it's the bitter truth.
I appreciate truth.
You know?
I said, and then on our way back, it did the same thing. And I said, guys, it's just like it's like a mile and a half there and a mile. And Red goes, that's an extra 3 miles. I'm like, well okay.
And it was into a headwind.
That headwind was, but you know what we did? We pulled our resources together. We had the best damn little pace line us idiots could manage. And
then we had a tailwind for like 20 miles.
20 was the rest of the way home.
Yeah, it was glorious.
It was 40 miles home.
It was glorious.
So what were y'all doing?
It was on our way back from that spring trip.
Yeah, but
LBJ Grasslands.
yeah,
Yeah.
you were riding your bikes, right?
No, hold up. Before you play
Oh,
the
come
music.
on. We're going to do this right at 2 minutes, but or 2 hours. Now we're not.
But this weekend, when's this podcast going to go up?
As soon as I go home.
Okay. This weekend, Ray Porter Memorial Race.
That's right.
Irwin Park. Love to see everybody out there racing, watching,
Speculating?
spectating or heckling. I kind of I was marrying those
That's
two
okay.
words.
Speckling. I like it.
Yeah. We'd love to see you out there. It's for a great cause. It's going to be a bunch of great people. We're going to be cooking everything you can imagine that has to do with barbecue. We're going to be handing out bacon. There's going to be bacon on bacon on bacon. That's what I'm doing today, is going to procure
Are you making bacon?
Yep. So love to have you out there. Go ride your bike.